Now, I filmed a video specifically about Cathkin Park, the stadium or ex-stadium, before. I've also filmed numerous videos where I've come to this place as part of the video that I was filming that day. I've touched on 3rd Lanark as a club quite a few times in a few of the videos that I just mentioned that I filmed here. However, I've never really fully gone into them themselves as a club. In recent weeks, I've looked into Vale of Leven, Renton, St Bernard's, all these old legendary clubs who aren't around anymore but used to be hugely successful and have won massive competitions here in Scotland. Since my videos have improved a lot, and it's been a while since I've come done a Cathkin specific video, I thought I'd come back and fully explore 3rd Lanark. Usually I bang on about how these old teams have won the cup. 3rd Lanark are different. Not only have they won 2 Scottish Cups, they were also champions of Scottish football, having won the top division one year. Join me as we explore the abandoned stadium of Cathkin Park, and I'll tell you more about the team that used to play here. And so, while I'm exploring a stadium of a team that are no longer around, please do go down to the first link in the description box and download OneFootball so you can keep up to date with the teams that are around. It is completely free and it supports my channel and it's a good app. And yeah, by downloading it via that link, OneFootball will know it's come from my video. That link takes you straight through to the App Store where you can download it. They'll be buzzing and they might want to sponsor me again, which means I can come to more places like this and make more videos like the one that you're watching just now that you'll enjoy. But yes, it is a top quality football app and you can star your favourite teams and get push notifications on everything from match facts, goals, alerts, red cards, transfers and way more that will keep you up to date with your team. Yeah, you'll never be kept out of the loop with whatever your team is doing. You don't just need one team, you can have a whole breadth of teams from Inter Milan to Inverness. So yes, please do support the channel in downloading OneFootball. First link below. Thank you very much. So look at that, I always love coming to Cathkin Park. It's amazing to think that one of the biggest stadiums in the world once stood here. And look at the snow coming down. Magical stuff. Right, so just look at the first ever league title from Scottish football history. It's the first league system which ever started here in Scotland, which is still in use to this day, 1890. Look at some of the teams on there: Renton, Vale of Leven, Celtic, Rangers, obviously, Dumbarton, St Mirren. So many of them that I've ticked off now, and I'm getting close to ticking them all off, so stay subscribed because I've got more coming soon. But yeah, 3rd Lanark came 5th that year, a few points off what would in today's money be a Europa League spot. Scottish league football aside for a second, 3rd Lanark were formed in 1872, 18 years before the league system. So what were they doing in those 18 years before the league started? Well, in 1872, the year that they were formed, Scotland played England in the first ever international game, first official international game on record anyway. So inspired by what they'd heard of and seen at Hamilton Crescent, the West of Scotland cricket ground, where Queen's Park provided all the players from Scotland to play that English team, the 3rd Lanarkshire Rifle Division decided to start up their own team. Many of the Queen's Park players that played for Scotland that day were themselves part of the 3rd Lanarkshire Rifle Volunteers. Queen's Park and 3rd Lanark are well connected, so I will leave a handful of videos below. Check the related videos section in the description box, and I'll leave my Queen's Park video, also my Cathkin Park video, which I've done before, as well as a few other Hampden Park, Cathkin Park related videos. They all intertwine, and yeah, could really do with a documentary, but if you watch all the vlogs, that'll give you a good idea of it all like piecing together. 3rd Lanark joined the Glasgow FA in 1883, and then they actually won the Scottish Cup in 1889. So 1 year before the league was started, they won the Scottish Cup for the first time in their history. They beat today's giants Celtic in the final, putting their final hoodoo behind them, having lost a couple of finals before they finally won one. In previous years, they'd lost to Queen's Park and Vale of Leven in the final, but yeah, like I say, 1889 they beat Celtic finally to win one. In 1890, they joined the league system as founding members, and so we must move on in the story into the 1900s. In 1903, they changed their name from the 3rd Lanarkshire Rifle Volunteers to 3rd Lanark AC, the AC standing for Athletic Club, as the official links to the military were cut. Before the outbreak of World War I, they had an absolute golden era. Within the year that they changed their name, they won the league title. Just look at the league table here from that year. So many big clubs that you'll recognise today, from Hearts to Celtic to Rangers, Dundee, St Mirren. All of them make up some of the top places, but none of them could get above 3rd Lanark that year. A year after that league success, they won yet another Scottish Cup. In 1905, they drew 0-0 in the cup final with Rangers in the first game anyway, and then it went to a replay, of course. Always find it so weird how they used to have replays for finals. But yeah, the first game was 0-0, and then in the second game, they scored the amount of goals that is in their name as they defeated Rangers by 3-1. They even got to the cup final the year after, but they lost, unfortunately, to Hearts. So even by the early 1900s, they're done. They've achieved something that a lot of clubs, even to this day, have failed to achieve. Numerous cup wins, as well as a top division league title here in Scotland. In between the two world wars, they enjoyed tours to North and South America. Were they the first pioneers of the friendlies abroad which we see today? Obviously nowadays, if you're going to go and play Boca Juniors or LA Galaxy, you can watch them on YouTube before your team goes out there and see what they're all about. Whereas back in the day, when you used to have to get a ship full of players across to, across the Atlantic to the Americas, you were going into the complete unknown. The players and the teams didn't know what the teams were going to be like that they would be playing against. They even played the Argentinian national team in 1923 in a friendly match. Imagine Messi's granddad coming to play here in the reverse fixture. They lost another cup final in 1936. This time Rangers got their revenge. And in 1960 they lost in a League Cup final as well, again to Hearts. 3rd Lanark bounced up and down in between the top two leagues, and even won the second tier title twice. In between all their cup wins and coming up and down throughout the leagues during the 1900s, they even won a couple of other prestigious cups that are kind of no longer around, the Glasgow Cup and the Glasgow Charity Cup. I think the Glasgow Cup is still used by youth teams though, so yeah, do let me know below if that's true. Wow, look at the snow is really coming down now. It was so sunny early when I left, and it's still like blue skies up there. Please do like this video, again for me, braving the elements for your entertainment. Thank you very much. Now, onto their decline as a club. They actually started the 60s off quite well. Of course, they finished in the League Cup final and stuff, but it was during the mid-60s that, yeah, their decline really started, unfortunately. In 1966, that year sounds familiar. In 1966, they had their worst ever season, winning just 3 games and drawing once, losing the rest. In 1967, they recorded their lowest ever league home attendance with less than 300 people turning up. That game actually finished 1-0, and it would be their last competitive victory ever. Their last home match was a thrilling 3-3 draw here in 1967 against Queen of the South. The attendance that day was around 325 people. But their final ever match was a 5-1 defeat away to Dumbarton at Boghead Park. This signalled the end for this great club. Just 6 seasons before their last season as a club, they managed to attract 555,000 people to their games across the entirety of the season. Then yeah, like I say, that 6th year later, you could divide that number by 10 and just 55,000 people turned up to watch games here, as opposed to 6 years before, yeah, over 500,000. With dwindling resources, the board were looking into selling Cathkin Park and, yeah, developing it for housing. That, of course, hasn't happened. The club seemed in disarray at the time. The players weren't paid properly. They were paid in coins, not notes. There was no hot water after the games to bathe in and to wash in and stuff. And the weekly lotto that was obviously meant to go to fans and stuff like that was very rarely paid out. And it was a £200 weekly prize, so it would have been quite a lot for them back in the day. Pretty dodgy runnings of the club eventually led to their ultimate demise. In 1967, they faced a winding up order, and their 77-year run in the Scottish Football Leagues came to a sad end. And with that, all of their players went up for transfer. A year after they were completely disbanded, the owners of the club were proved to have been found guilty of embezzlement and fraud and all that kind of stuff, and it just seemed like it was run by awful, bad owners. Nowadays there's a Phoenix club called 3rd Lanark AFC, which yeah, plays in the honour of the team that used to be. Formed in more modern times, they play in the Central Scottish Amateur League and yeah, are an amateur club I don't think the players get paid or anything, but there have been talks in recent years of them potentially becoming a senior club. Do you think it would be good to see a senior third Lanark rise back through the divisions and get back up into where their predecessors belonged? If you do want to learn more about Cathkin Park and yeah, what makes this stadium so special, then do check out my Cathkin Park video. I'll leave it down below, as well as my Queen's Park video and my Hampden Park videos and stuff, because they're all completely linked to third Lanark and this place specifically. Please do remember to leave a like on this video. I'd really appreciate it, as I'm out here in the freezing cold. Subscribe if you're new as well. The videos aren't stopping, they're just going to get bigger and better as the year goes on and as restrictions get lifted and stuff like that. I am still able to film because it's my job, of course. Please do leave me a comment below if you have any third Lanark memories of your own or have seen Cathkin Park before. It's certainly a special place, and yeah, I really enjoy coming here to film videos. Please do also download OneFootball. I'd really appreciate it. It's the first link in the description box below. I will leave some videos around my head as ever, so you can keep watching my content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.